All right, you're welcome back from that short break. You are still onto Atlantic Television Network Sport Extraordinary, where we talk the extraordinary things happening in the world of sport. And I have Tempo via the Zoom line joining me on the show this evening. Tempo, good evening and welcome to Sports Extra.
Yeah, good evening, Mike. Always a pleasure to be here.
All right, let's start from the home scene because Lagos State is set to become a global hub for sport tourism with a debut for 170-kilometer Lagos Grand Fondo cycling event tagged Eco 170 on January 11th, 2026. The citywide challenge aims to promote a healthy living, sustainable mobility, and showcase Lagos infrastructure, coastal beauty, and vibrant culture. Endorsed by the Lagos State organizers, the government said that Eco 170 aligned with the administration's 6 strategic development pillars: traffic management and transportation, health and environment, education and technology, building a 21st century economy, entertainment and tourism, and security, not also forgetting governance. More than 1,000 cyclists, including elite professionals and amateur enthusiasts from Nigeria and abroad, are expected to participate. The 170-kilometer route begins and ends at Eco Atlantic City, taking participants through Victoria Island, Lekki Ikoyi Link Bridge, and the Lekki Ekpe Expressway to Ekpe before returning to grand finish, developed in collaboration with the Ministry of Transportation and LASMA. The route is designed to ensure minimal traffic disruption and maximum safety for residents and participants. So, Tempo, Lagos State always, on point when it has to do with sporting activity. They are the ones that try to always explore different areas of sporting potentials. Few months ago, they hosted the massive one out there, talking about the first E1, race out there in Lagos that had the likes of, Team Rafael Nadal, Team Drogba, and other top, sportmen and women grace the occasion. Now, they have embarked on a different journey, 170 cycling, sporting activity. What do you make of Lagos State in terms of sports development in the last 2-3 years down the line?
I think that Lagos State have tried. They have a very self-sustaining sports commission that values their programs via their strategic plans. And that gives them edge when it comes to other states. And arguably, when you look at the activities of Lagos State in the last 2-3 years, you can argue deeply that yes, something different has really happened. I told you, the man who's at the Minister of Affairs of Lagos State Sports Commission, have really done so well to ensure that Lagos State returns back as one of the team or one of the states that will know when it comes to sporting excellence. All right, so I think that when it comes to administration, they have shown that they have what it takes to push forward the values of sports across different frontiers. Secondly, I also think that Lagos State are thinking that if they delve into other sports apart from football, they will also garner more support, more commercial support, and more partnership and sponsors. Lagos State is a commercial environment, and they want to leverage on those commercial activities and also make sports a home in the state. Now, people in Lagos State, not everybody has some penchant with football. Even football is like the father of all sports in Nigeria, because it feels that they can explore other tendencies and also other frontiers so that they can party. So generally, I think that's all have all of this covered up. So I think Lagos State are in the right direction. Let's see how this plan will go. But for me, I still argue that regardless of all these efforts put together, they are doing more of sports promotion instead of sports development. Because when you talk about sports development, you look at sports development as how it concerns the well-being of the athletes. Does Lagos State have athletes that are good cyclists, or because it's the year end, they just want to host it? Do they have strategic policies to develop athletes to become world-class cyclists from age 5, 10, 15? So for me, beyond it, it's all this are just promotion. When we see a state who wants to really delve into sports development, we will know. I don't get carried away by this what call it, this flashes of promotion. I don't get carried away because we are beautiful, have a historic end. Cycling is the main sport in Nigeria. The EIO is understandable because it is the first of its kind. So you agree that if they delved into it because they wanted to show class and they achieved it. Sport, cycling is an old sport in Nigeria. How far? When you host a co-cycling championship once in a year, and then at the end of the day, nothing happens again all through the year. You're going to partner with cycling federation to see what you can do. For me, it doesn't make sense to me. As we're reading it, I'm trying to make sense out of the whole thing. But we cannot forget to applaud the effort of the state, government, and the ministry and the commission for the good job they're doing. But see, if we must get all these things sustained, you need to have proper sport development and nothing short of that. Promotion will not take us anywhere. Promotion will just a flash in the pan. It doesn't last, it is not sustainable. Development is what can take us further. It is what will bring glory to Lagos State. It is what will bring glory to Nigeria. And until we look at it from that direction or from that prism, we will just be roaming around the circle and we won't go anywhere.
Tempo, some will argue with you regarding this, that Lagos State, if you check carefully, they've been intentional about sport development. In the last 2-3 years down the line, when you talk about the National Sport Festival right here in the country, you've seen Lagos State, finishing first or second or third position, and they've been very consistent. You take a look at table tennis, they have shown, consistency as well.
The argument is not, you are talking about cycling. We're talking about how they want to get 170 persons to boost tourism. And that's the argument. It's not about the holistic. I started by saying that the commission have done very well.
All right.
That today is doing so well in the Lagos State Commission. And beyond other things they are doing, I'm saying that you don't just wake up one morning and go cycling. If you host EI, it's understandable because EI is looking at its advent in Nigeria and they embraced it. But if you want to tell me that we are hosting what's it called? Tourism, we are hosting a cycling event, and throughout the whole year, you have not done that. Even at National Sports Festival, you do not have a cyclist to represent you. That is sport promotion. That's my argument.
All right.
I'm not discrediting the fact that people have done very well in the area of sport development in other fields. But when it comes to cycling, I think that we can do better. We can do more.
All right, so we can definitely do more, especially for Lagos State that have been very, very deliberate in terms of sport development. But then this is another key area that Temple feels that they have to do more if truly they want to stamp their foot and authority in terms of cyclist development. Because if you take a look at it generally, you might want to agree with Temple because the last Olympic game which Nigeria attended, we had to borrow a bicycle rather, from Germany. This means that we are not paying much priority and attention to cyclists. And Lagos State is towing that line. Let's see if they can be able to sustain this very one going forward. Away from that, Nigeria's Zainab Monturayo Adeshina lit up the ring in Riyadh as she powered her way to silver medal in the women's 51 kg boxing category at the ongoing Solidarity Games, facing fierce competition from Turkish Rabia Topuz, who claimed gold. Additional showed a grit, heart, and lightning-fast combination that earned her admirations from fans and respect from opponents. Her performance was a statement that Nigerian boxers or queen are back in the business. Tempo Adeshina doing us proud far away in Riyadh. Impressive one you want to say for her, despite not clinching the gold medal, but then at least she still win something for Team Nigeria.
Beautiful, beautiful. I think I followed her. She was really the first person who got to who were sure of medal. The moment she got to the third place, we knew that she might end up winning a bronze medal. She qualified to play in the finals, and from there we now knew that okay, there's a tendency of getting to win something. So when you fight in the finals, you are sure. And I mean, not for the doggedness of the Turkish boxer. I mean, she would have played that particular one. So I congratulate her, and I think that Zainab is one fine boxer we have here. I think that this would be a fine solace for the boxing federation of Nigeria at the time when a lot of issues are even around them. You can take this from there, take this bike, and hope that you can move on. One thing that this Islamic game does is to show that we have other areas we can look at. Because when you compete regularly with these other countries, and when you go to the likes of the Olympics, somehow you still get to face these countries. So when you start building, that fear factor in your opponent, although you're at the Olympics or Paralympics, you have a bigger platform, right? But I don't think that when you win medals at Islamic Games is a worldwide event. Okay, so it gives our momentum. Now, come on, we have already written our name in that medal table, which is fine for us. So I think I really congratulate her, and I think that it is good for us. Silver medal is not bad. If every athlete that goes for a competition gets to, the factor that okay, come on, I want to take Nigeria to win a medal, even if it's a bronze medal, Michael, you see that. The narrative will start changing because somehow all the effort, all the finances, even if sometimes athletes claim that they are not sponsored by Team Nigeria, but the fact that you are representing Nigeria, it's a pride on its own. So for me, I really appreciate the fact that she was able to get something, and the fact that regardless of the medal, the color of the medal, she won something for Nigeria, and this will prepare her going forward.
Going forward, we hope that Team Nigeria will definitely rack up more medals as the competition, continue out there. It's been an impressive outing thus far for Team Nigeria, as they've been able to rack, about 11 or 12 medals so far, and among, the top country. Out of 57 countries that are taking part in this year's edition of the Islamic game, Nigeria currently doing pretty well. So we hope that Team Nigeria continue to rack up more medals and finish within the podium at the end of the tournament. Let's talk tennis on the show this evening, because Novak Djokovic says he still believes he can win an outright record 25th Grand Slam singles title, despite being given a slap from reality in the last couple of years. The Serb great equaled Margaret Court's record of 24 major single titles with his 2023 US Open triumph, but the emergence of Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner has prevented him from going one further. Alcaraz and Sinner, the world number 2 and 1, have split the past 8 slam titles between them. Novak Djokovic met Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz in semi-final at 3 of the 4 majors this year, but injury and fatigue hampered the 38-year-old on each occasion. So, Tempo, the Serbian great, at 38, he still believes that he can, of course, hit that standalone 25th Grand Slam. With the likes of Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz going toe-to-toe against each other for more titles and the #1 spot, do you see, Novak Djokovic bridging this gap between this duopoly to make it a 25th Grand Slam before it finally drops the rackets?
Wow, very, very difficult one to call. Very difficult one. Now, why I say so is because I think that he has fought so hard. As the year goes by, 1 year is added to you, and when it's added to you, somehow your natural energy drops. Unknown to you, it's just natural. it drops. And when it drops, you have to be careful. All right, you have to. It takes a whole lot. Okay, for you to go one step further. So the fact that he was able to achieve that last year, this year, I think that somehow the fear factor and the finesse of the two guys, will just naturally set in because those guys are not tired of winning Grand Slams. So those guys have not won up to 10 Grand Slams in their career. So they want to close in the gap. As much as they know that other five players will come in the future, they want to start closing the gap. So that's why it's difficult. So then, when history is about to be made, it takes key factors. Natural occurrence can just happen. Arsenal is ruled out in the tournament. Alcaraz is ruled out. Yes, you think that other players will also come to the party, but there is this motivation that comes, if you know that some of your players are not there, or somehow they go to a Grand Slam and their discipline is knocked out. Alcaraz is knocked out. So his chances are, I still think that he can, because if you know Novak Djokovic, you know that he's one man who is so dominant. At the time that he was 28, that's 120 Grand Slam. The likes of Roger Federer was already on 22. Yes, was it 20 or thereabouts? He's 18. But he came in and got it, climbed above Rafael Nadal and was able to, equal McGregor's record. So I'm just thinking that barring any injury, which, or at least at this age, expect that those injuries will come in because of age. But then you do not take away the fact that this man can still win. He never won the Olympic in his glory days. It took him a lot when the young gents are very close enough for him. For him to take that plan, regardless of the strength of those guys. So I don't take it for granted. I think that nothing stopping him from lifting something next season. Nothing stopping him. We have 4 Grand Slams a year. He can try to channel his energy in one. The Alcaraz of this world and the Silas of this world, they are not undefiable. They are not unbeatable. So Djokovic can use his armor, can use his strength, can use his guts and get something, And that's why I believe that the man is not stopping. And the Australian Open is very short. So let's see how it goes. But for me, I will not give up on him until he finally retires.
All right, we see how it goes for Novak Djokovic, who is chasing the 25th Grand Slam, and he still believes, despite the stiff competition, the fierce rivalry between the young gems, talking about Yannick Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz, he still believes that he can be able to hit that mark before he eventually, drops his racket. We wish him well in this aspiration and quest before he finally retires. Away from that, let's talk football on the show, but starting from the home scene, as the Katsina State Police Command has dismissed as false and mischievous a viral social media report alleging that Nana Abraham, a player of Barau FC, was slaughtered by fans of Katsina United during a Nigerian Premier Football League match week 12 game that took place at the Muhammad Odiko Stadium, Katsina. In a statement issued by the Command Public Relation Officer, DSP Abubakar Sadiq Aliyu, police described the report as entirely untrue, mischievous, and a calculated attempt to breach the peace being enjoyed by the state. According to the police, Abraham is safe and accounted for, and preliminary investigations confirmed that there was no physical confrontation between fans, players, or officials before, during, or after the match. So, Tempo, that viral video, was one that caught the eyes of so many who came to, cast aspersion on the, fans and the Nigerian Premier Football League. Now that the evidence is very clear, as the Kaduna State Police, Katsina rather, have made it ostensibly clear that there was no atom of truth of such a viral video. Do you think that the NPFL board should, of course, fine Barau FC for exaggerating the whole scenario?
The first question you ask is it that exaggerated the whole scenario? is it a fault that somebody is chewing something to the stadium? Thank God that this is a northern derby. Other person would have started thinking otherwise. A lot of naysayers would have started thinking that it's about the south and the west, the south and the north, or the south and the north. Yes, you know. But thank God that it's not between them. That tells you that we need to be careful. We need to just be careful. You see, information spreads up on a super highway. You cannot. Our own is just to wish that we don't continue to do damage control. When we fail to do what we're supposed to do as authorities, as club owners, and then we're hoping that we always do damage control. Sometimes it doesn't work. What the police are doing is just to calm the nerves of maybe, which is their work, okay, correcting that statement because the MPFL body that was a physical assault on the young action. What truly transpired was there a hit from the guy? If there was massive security, would that have happened? These are questions that we ask. In the English Premier League, we have also seen games where things are thrown in the stadium. Things like this happen. It's not different from what happened in Europe. So, but the argument here is that is always happening in the north. I said we are sports journalists. Let's not decide ourselves with what the people are saying. Police have come out to extricate themselves from the matter to say that they're not applying and due diligence. And yes, they have come out with a clear statement of fact, which I believe is true. But then let us ask ourselves, why is it that even when it happens to this is northern derby, it is happening. When it happens to southern derby, I don't understand. So
Hello, Temple, are you there? Temple, are you there? All right, look as though the network is beginning to add funding from Temple. Do well to re-establish that connection. Meanwhile, the Katsina, state government and of course the police has come out. All right. All right, Temple, are you back? All right, so do well to see who can re-establish that connection. But then we wait and see how all of this pans out. But then information coming through says that Nana Abraham, is in good health as we speak right now. So there is no such a news that a player's throat was slit, according to report and according to some of the viral videos, which was very disturbing about Katsina United fans going on rampage to attack Barau FC players and officials. All right, away from that, Nigeria's under-20 women team, the Falconet, have been crowned West Africa's new champions after a convincing 3-0 victory over Ghana's Black Princesses at the Stade Omnisport the Jahu on Thursday. The Falconet took control early in the game with Janet Akekoromowe opening the scoring in style after firing in a powerful free kick from long range. In 17 minutes, 6 minutes later, Alaba Olabiyi doubled Nigeria's lead, finishing off a clever-headed assist to put Ghana under more pressure. Karim sealed the win in the 60th minute, tapping in from Akekoromeo's teasing cross and joining her as the top scorer of the tournament. The victory handed Nigeria their first ever WAFU B under-20 Girls Cup title, avenging their penalty shootout loss to Ghana in the inaugural final 2 years ago. So a great one for the Falconet as they, of course, did reign supreme over their Black Princesses team. It is always a very fierce battle when you talk about the Ghana and Nigeria derby, known as the Jollof derby. But then it was more like a revenge mission for the Falconets after last time, pain which they suffered in the hands of same Ghanaian. Now was the time to pay back. So they've won this year's edition with a game to spare. They are already crowned champion, winning 3 of their straight games played so far. So say very, very big congratulations to the guests, even as they move attention to the FIFA Under-20 World Cup qualifier, which comes up very soon. At this point, let me take a quick break. When I'm back, we'll dive straight to the camp of the Super Eagles because something big is happening. How are they prepping up for tomorrow's make or mark clash against Gabon? We will let you know when I'm back from this short break. Don't go anywhere. All right, you're welcome back from that short break. You're still onto Atlantic Television Network, and this is Sport Extra, where we bring you the latest happenings in the world of sport. And my name is Emmanuel Michael. Airport Temple joins me via the Zoom line, and together we are bringing you up to speed with the latest and trending stories popping up from the ever-busy world of sports. Let's head straight to the camp of the Super Eagles because the Super Eagles players and officials made a firm decision yesterday to boycott training in Rabat, Morocco, due to ongoing issues surrounding unpaid bonuses and allowances. The entire squad, including team staff, skipped yesterday's session as they demand an immediate resolution ahead of Thursday's critical match against the Panthers of Gabon. Tempo, this is no longer news. that the Super Eagles boycotted their training yesterday. Even as we speak right now, as at when I came on air, there was still rumors that they are going to skip today's training as well as continue. As discussion continue between the players and of course NFF official. First off, what do you make of this particular disturbing news?
All right, just to start with the fact that that matter has been resolved officially. Prosekong has officially posted on his Twitter that that matter has been resolved and the guys will be showing them today. I'm sure that they will do the final training today in preparation for the games tomorrow. So, I'm going to just point it out straight because yesterday night they had an all-night session, to discuss this. And at the time we spoke with China this morning, China also tried to, look at it, but after that time, the news broke that they have resolved, and because the captain of the side, was very firm that until he made a formal comment, that matter has been resolved, that no other side talks should be taken seriously. And when he finally made that post, it was very clear, and the news houses can verify that that matter has been resolved. Hopefully, they will train today, but it's not a good one. But then if you follow the Super Eagles, as far back when I was a kid, it's not the first time. In 1994 it happened. In 2014, which is the recent one, in World Cup, before they played France in the round of 16, it happened. So if you know, Selinkeshi also, sometime too, when he was leading, these things happened. 2002, it happened. Where the likes of Yakuba Ibn and the big names, so we say, all of them the NFF did not allow them to go to the World Cup because of the fact that they boycotted training. So we are used to this. Unfortunately, the question is, why is it always happening close to a big game like the one we have tomorrow? And anytime it happens, we are always not the history is not in our favor. Against in 1994, before we played Denmark, it happened again. Denmark ended up thrashing off Spain that about 4-1. In 2002, we were also that before we played France, we saw what transfer, and then France won that particular game 2-1. So it's not a good thing that this is always happening when we have big games. And we ask ourselves, if it does not happen, we have big games. When will it happen? The NFF needs to wake up. That's the truth. The NFF needs to wake up. They need to do a whole lot. Completing reports of how I listened to Gusto when he was interviewed, and he talked about that the players had that agreement last year that they're going to forfeit every other one since it's coming as a new slate. And then they argue that it's not from 2019, it's from the start of the World Cup and the AFCON qualifiers. But even if it's the start of the World Cup and AFCON qualifiers, why not pay them their money? Why owe them? It brings to question a lot of financial, misappropriations happening within the NFF. Just the start of this month, the NFF was accused of misappropriating funds meant for Kebbi State Stadium and all that, then FIFA grants. In fact, we are just pulling ourselves out from that one. Now this one is happening. The Super Eagles players have come out to say that the big players like Obito, Sime, and they're not doing this for themselves. They're doing it for other young players who may not be at that level, as they are. For them, what is how much are they paying them? Also, the news was heard was that the players are saying that you can no longer be giving us $25,000, for as match bonus. They don't give us daily allowances. I ask myself, if you are planning with Super Eagles, part of the money you earmark every year should be part of this. So I don't understand how many times do they play matches? The Peter window comes maybe once in 2 months or thereabout. Why not plan for them? Why not plan? And so it begs a lot of questions. But thank God, all of this was saying now is history. But there's no way that it will not impact on the game tomorrow. That's an assurance. I'm not a naysayer. I wish the Super Eagles would win clearly, but still, it will have an effect. The effect of not training for 2 days will be very visible tomorrow when they play against Gabon.
Will you say that this is a clear indictment on the side of NFF in terms of leadership failure within the cabinet or framework of NFF?
You can't excuse it. You can't excuse it. If Coach Evichef fails to deliver the mantle of outcome, everybody will blame him for not delivering it. Right? If by tomorrow Evichef does not win that game and will go and pay the ticket, people think that Evichef is not good enough. They will not remember how good he has been. So it is for NFF. No matter how NFF tries to debunk and try to, because they don't accept the blame. See this NFF that we have, they don't own up the responsibility. They like to shave away from that error and try to push it elsewhere. But in this case, where will you push it to? Who will you blame? How will you explain it? Own up your mistake and then move forward. That's what makes you a boss. What I like, I love when I like the ladies boss. They still challenge, they look at it critically, they set up a committee, they all of them need to own up and they move on. That's what makes you distant. That's what brings integrity. That's what playing pranks are trying to put as if you're kids. We're not kids. Everybody is wise in Nigeria. So I think that the NFF, they always sit on them to take responsibility of their action and then do the needful. No matter how you look at it, it's an embarrassment to Nigeria. No matter how they resolve this matter, it is an embarrassment to Nigeria and it should not be heard of. How many have heard about Morocco? How many have heard about some of the countries doing well? Egypt. Why is it Nigeria? Why is it Nigeria? So that tells you that something somehow is wrong with the system. And it's not good at all. I listened to Marcelo Anyang this afternoon. And he explained, and I agree with him totally. Until we remove the bad hands from the soup, that soup will continue to get sour. I'm telling you the truth. So the NFF, they are culpable. They should be held responsible. They are accountable to Nigerians and we hold them responsible for that in the failure of ensuring that the allowances from Super Eagles are paid.
Why did the players even had to wait for that so long? From 2019 to 2025, it's about 6 years. A baby of 6 years right now should be walking and running. Why did they even have to even wait up to 6 years before demanding for what is due them?
Okay, so think of how this is working. That's why I don't believe, like I said, there are conflicting reports.
Yeah.
I don't believe that the NFF held their money for 6 years. We heard that yes, 30 matches, bonuses. Maybe so when you calculate 30 matches, it goes down to maybe 6 years, 2019 about that. But the NFF, if I will take the words of Rousseau this afternoon, he said that they had an agreement with the players last year that every other one, because of the issue of no money, since the era of Pinnick has gone, every allowance that was owed in the era of Pinnick should be forgiven. They should let it go. And the players agreed. And they said that they are accountable to their own now. And they agreed. So let me believe that from last year when the qualifier started, that was when they were now old. I don't want to go into what I did not know because to be sincere with you, if the players have not been making comments and they allowed it all this while, how many players apart from maybe based on starting a bit of singing, how many players have been there since 6 years ago? I don't know because new club of players are there, maybe Alex Iwobi and all that. You know what? Because this player, when they play after now, they go back to their club side. It's not like in Nigeria where they play every day in their club. When they come to play 2 games, they are off. And they will tell them, okay, they will discuss to meet with you and all that. And that's how it started. I'm really sure that what brought this matter, the stroke that brought the camera back, was as a result of the hotel that they kept it. And the fact that the NFF also denied that that hotel was good enough. Oh boy. So, what made this matter? I think that the players, you cannot deny the fact that these players are patriotic. They go after this game, they leave you thinking that the administration will work out their finances and send to the bros, even if they don't need the money. Their families, there are families, some of these players who, in fact, $5,000 will do a lot of good. So sometimes it's not about the play. So after each game, they go, they travel and they feel that okay, no one will get back to you. It's like you go to cover an event now, and the brothers tell you that okay, bros, they will get back to you, and you confidently believe them, and they'll get back to you, and maybe they didn't get back. The next time again, you are forced to cover because if you don't cover, the people will not understand that because if you say God money, that's why you not pay. You know, you don't go and cover. So you have to go and cover first now. Just like that, you know, if 1 year has passed, 2 years has passed, and that is what brought us to this level. But like I said, thank God that this one has been resolved. But see, every action, according to science, is saying that it's equal to what? To an equal reaction. So let's see how it goes tomorrow.
What does this tomorrow's game mean for the players and Nigerians at large?
Yeah, I mean, I want to watch our team in the World Cup. I want to watch our team in the World Cup. Because I can't go to the World Cup. I want to watch our team in the World Cup. And see, playing the World Cup. The World Cup is the biggest football in India on planet Earth. It's the biggest. Nothing comes close to it. And if Nigeria plays in the World Cup, it comes a lot of stuff. Our players will be known. Some of the players will move. You can afford them to a higher level. Some persons with commercialization will be heightened. Sponsorship will come into the NFF. All right, this will come in. Nigeria is already a global brand. The most popular black nation on planet Earth. You cannot debut that. You know, so I think that it comes with a lot of value. And if we don't play at the World Cup, where the big boys are, oh boy, you know that the last World Cup we did not go, took us 4 steps backward. That yes, every time you don't go for the World Cup, it takes you 4 steps backward. And that's not the level you want to be. So no matter how big you think you are as a brand, you are not among the committee of nations. They don't say, yeah, why not? They look at you. They don't look at you. They don't look at you. So I think that being in the World Cup comes with a lot of stuff. It comes with a lot of, with the likes of Egypt, the nations of this world, and Morocco, Ivory Coast, you know, and this is a historic World Cup. So why would we be in the World Cup? And we have the most valuable international values team in Super Eagles. So why would we be that? It makes mockery of what we hold there. The pride that we hold here, that we have a team that players are all based in Europe. It makes mockery of that team. So I think the first thing is we'll keep every other distraction, focus on tomorrow's game, and hope that they check and factor in a tactics that will help us to get a victory tomorrow. Anytime wants to do it, all we need is just a victory, and that's all.
Who is going to be the greatest loser if the Super Eagles fail to qualify for next year's World Cup? The players, the NFF, or Nigerians at large? Who is going to be the greatest loser?
All of us. All. The players, some of them have been craving to play in the World Cup. Victor Osimhen, I feel for him because the guy is arguably the reason why we are going to play in this FIFA playoffs. So the players who are giving this all, it doesn't play in the World Cup. I mean, it's not just if you have the NFL appropriation bill for next year. So they think about other things that are only the debts are only another thing they're thinking about. Administrative sector is not in their mindset. So they only feel for 2 days because sponsors like others should come to them and partner with them via the Super Eagles and World Cup will not come. So they will be thinking about the monetary value that have lost. They will think about those men don't care about and
all right, Temple, I want to appreciate you so much for finding that time to join us.
We can't stop it. You know, but
all right, Temple, thanks for joining us on the show this evening.
Thank you, Mike. Always a pleasure.
All right, I did the show this evening alongside Ekpo Temple, who joined me via the Zoom line. As tomorrow we'll continue to bring you up to speed with the happenings in the Super Eagles camp as they gear up for a make or a break World Cup playoff against the Panthers of Gabon come tomorrow. The time is 5 p.m. Nigerian time. We'll do it to keep you up to speed with the latest camp development when we make a return tomorrow morning for Sport Talk. Before I bounce, I can tell you that our sport extraordinaire for today goes to no other person than Moise Twema, because the Nigerian heritage heavyweight boxer Moise Twema has been named the Breakthrough Athlete of the Year at the 2025 British Sports Awards, recognizing a remarkable year that confirmed his rise among the sport's brightest young talents. So we say a very big congratulations to Moise out there. My name is Emmanuel Michael, the Prime Minister of the Airways. You can go down to our different social media handle, and of course, the conversation will continue over there. Have a very, very beautiful evening ahead.